Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Voice of Stockton, and KXVS Radio. I will discuss relevant issues affecting animals and pet owners today, how to avoid common problems, and how to extend the quality of life for your cherished companions. As a community advocate, I will also discuss important social issues that affect our city. I plan to showcase organizations and heroes who are doing amazing things to help others. Remember to tune in every Tuesday morning at 10, starting soon.
This is Barbara Berrigan-Perea with Delta Flows, a radio show by the Voice of Stockton and Restore the Delta. This is the weekly radio show where we discuss everything Delta related: the environment, water management, water quality, farming, history and culture, public events, recreation, Delta food, and the arts. Tune into Delta Flows on KXVS, the Voice of Stockton, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube at KXVS Radio.
You're listening to KXVS on 92.1, coming soon.
This is KXVS, the Voice of Stockton, and it's time for Walk the Talk with your host, Jim T. Chong.
Hey, welcome. We want to welcome you. This is Walk the Talk. This is Jim T. Chong, and I am so excited and grateful for this month. And this month is a month of gratitude, and November is such just a great time to focus on family and the things that are happening. And of course, we are broadcasting live just off the Miracle Mile here in Stockton, California. And you can access us from the Facebook page. It is the Voice of Stockton, KXVS. And also, you can reach us on 92.1. And I will tell you, this month has been an incredible month for family and also just other things that have been happening across the various communities. And so we have with us some stellar people here. First off, I'm so excited to have this person here. She's so special to me, and she literally controls my story and the story of 20 different authors that are part of our Breaking Barriers, Decisions that Elevate People from Ordinary to Extraordinary, a book that will be released next month. And we have with us Nichole Peters. Nichole, how are you today?
Hi, Jim. I am great. What about you?
Great. Well, I'm looking forward on some of the things that we have to discuss, and we're going to share a little bit more about what you do and what you're all about. But also, we have with us a local here in Stockton, California. That is Harvey T. Jordan. He is an expert in terms of the theatrical productions that are happening here, an actor, and also has been responsible for some great theatrical presentations over here in the Stockton city. And we're going to learn a little bit more about what he is providing through improv to really bring humor into our lives. But I want to go ahead and start off with Nichole. Nichole has been just a remarkable individual. She has actually faced two things that have happened in our nation. One is actually the hurricane that happened over in the Florida area, and also just a lot of the things. The hurricane, it's called Hurricane. You know what the name was? Yeah, Harvey, Hurricane Harvey, and Irma. But over in Texas, but also Irma in Florida here. But she is very resilient. She is a women's advocate as well as a renowned and award-winning publisher as well with Believe in Your Dreams Publishing. She is also the person that is co-publishing my book, and really I've learned a lot from her. She has done so much to help a lot of people get their story out. So Nichole, how are you today?
I'm rocking great, Jim, and I hope you rocking too, because you're a rock star also.
Yeah, hey, you're rocking, I'm walking. That's what we're saying, right? W-O-K, of course. And, you know, you have really made it your life's mission, you know, setting up your professional publishing company, but helping many people achieve award-winning status in their books that have been released. And I'm really thankful to be working with you here on our book being released on December. But I want to go ahead and just ask you, you know, just dealing with so many people's stories, why do you think it's important for us to really know our personal story?
Because your story is who you are, Jim. And when you share your story, you actually share your testimony with the world. And I'm not talking about a story where I'm born in Louisiana and I come from a foreign background. I'm talking about a story of things you've been through. Have you ever, Jim, let me ask you a question. Have you ever told your story of something that you went through? Like me recently, I went through a major surgery. And it kept me down for like 6 months. And I thought maybe my career would be over. And so many people tell you, oh, I can resonate with those events in your life, what you was talking about. That is the reason why we should tell our story, because it is so many I am Jims out there, and I am Nichole's out there, or I am whoever's on the phone listening out there. When we tell our story, it's powerful. It's for people to recognize and know that they're not the only one. And your story is your truth, your identity, and knowing that you can come up and rise above anything that you've been through. And that's why your story is important, because so many people need that in their life. Mm-hmm.
You know, just as I love the title. I love just what the name of your company is, Believe in Your Dreams Publishing, and that really caught my attention. What got you into actually forming a publishing company?
Okay, Jim, when I published when I was getting my first book published, I went through so much trying to find a publication. And when I did find one of them didn't be so bad. It was so much going on with it. So people was like, oh, it's not going to come true. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. And I kept praying and praying and praying, because I'm a prayer warrior. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to stop believing in my dreams because someone else doesn't believe in my dreams. And I never forget in school. I was in elementary. One of my friend girls, we had career day at our school, and one of my classmates' mom was an author, and she came on career day, and she rocked my world when she was telling the story. I was having such a bad day on that day. And when she told her story, it just brightened me. So when the teacher raised out, we all had to raise our hand. And after career day, our teacher asked us, she said, hey, what do y'all want to be? And I said, I want to be an author. I want to be a speaker like her. I want to motivate people. She made me happy when I was so sad on this day. Well, fortunately, my teacher was like, well, you know, your weakest subject is English and writing. English and reading comprehension. You have to think about if that's what you want. I prefer you to go on something like a scientist or be something in math, because you are very strong in math. And I walked on, because where I stayed, I literally stayed less than a mile away from the school. I walked home and I was so sad. And I was upset, and I said, you know what? I'm still going to believe in my dream. Even at that age, I said that. So when it came down to me getting ready to publish the book, I had so many problems. So I decided that I was going to go learn the business myself, because I believe in me. In order to believe in anything, you must believe in yourself first. And that's where Believe in Your Dream Publishing came from.
You know, in telling someone's story, you know, there's a lot of people that feel like, well, maybe my story's not that significant. Maybe it won't really make a difference. Maybe I'm not ready to tell it. What advice can you give to people? Because I know you've worked with hundreds of people, helping them tell their story. What advice could you give them, and why is it important for them to tell their story? And when will they know it's ready for them to tell their story?
First thing I want to say, what are they waiting for?
I can see you say that.
You know, that's just me, the jokester in me. I feel like the time is now, Jim. It's so many people going through so much. And I was so afraid to tell my story. At first, I would take my kids into the library, because I have a special needs child, and they had to get tutored a lot. And when she came out, the teacher, the librarian used to always ask me, why are you always over there writing? And she said, let me see what you're writing. And she said, can I keep this overnight? And she had watched me for 3 months, Jim.
Wow.
Watched me for 3 months. And I told her, no, I'm not going to share this with nobody. She was like, do you know you have a bestseller on your hand? Mind you, this was a librarian named Patsy that's from Mansfield, Texas. At that time, that's where I was living. And she said, you know what? She said, I'm retired from Barnes & Noble. We don't even have any openings for we having a writer seminar. She said, but I'm going to call them and ask them, can they put you in there? From then on, I knew then it was time for me to tell my story. But the reason why, the other question that you asked me is, why? What is the reason? When should people know? You know when you can feel it. Because it's like so many people tell you it's their time. And then other times people have visions where they feel like, okay, I need to get my story out. But don't be afraid, because I was so afraid. I went from 646 followers on Facebook to 56,000 followers when I dropped my first book.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God, what in the world have I done? I was like, this many people resonate with my story. It was so many, like I told you earlier, I am Nichole out there. So many people had been through domestic violence. So many people had been thinking that they would never make it because of where they come from. So many people feel like because of I'm just not good enough that I can't do it. So many people didn't know I had a deficit. How can you have a deficit in English and still become a #1 award-winning bestseller author? Not only become an award-winning bestseller author, but also become a publisher where 4 of your books become bestsellers and 3 of them #1 bestsellers. So it was like, oh my God, how can this person do this? Your story is very important. All I can say is pray about it. Get your goals together on how you want to do it. Join a coaching class if it's a rock star with Jim, if it's me or whoever, and because me and Jim is a team. And get your story out there. It's so many people waiting to help you get your story to the masses, because I'm letting you know now, your story heals others, it helps others, and it also motivates others. And when you do all 3 of them, you're destined for greatness.
You know, Nichole, that is one thing I love about you, and I know people listening, they could probably not just hear but feel your passion, and that's why I chose you to work with in terms of publishing my first book, the anthology, Breaking Barriers, because I needed somebody with just an incredible passion and heart for people, and you know, knowing you and getting to know you a little bit more through this process, I feel like I understand why you are so passionate about helping people tell their story. And you know, one thing I want to just let the listening audience know, Nichole is not just an average person. She is somebody that has really been through the fire, the ringer, and she's lived life, you know, the ups, the downs, but also the challenges, but is now really helping people like myself to be able to develop their story and tell their story. And also, she has the keys to helping books become just a #1 bestseller, if you choose to, a New York Times bestseller, or just basically getting it out there to be able to allow the story to tell itself, to be able to impact so many people's lives. And I know, hearing your story, Nichole, that's what really made me gravitate towards you. And I know we're different in so many ways, but yet, you know, you kind of bring it all together, because as I get to know you, I see you love so many people. And here in Stockton, California, unfortunately, you know, there's a mixed variety of reputation that Stockton has. We've known the highs and lows for the real estate environment. And, you know, I will tell you, as people, sometimes we can be a little fickle. I mean, we loved Stockton when investment was high and the real estate market was really going. And then now it's a place where people kind of shun a little bit, but now it's coming back. And we're funny as people, not unlike the nation. We can learn a lot about what's happening nationally by what's happening here in Stockton, California. But I know, I just want to give you a few moments, Nichole, because I really value what you do for women. And I know you are a leader, a true leader amongst various communities, not just helping people tell their story, but truly living it out and serving as just a real conduit for people to get their message out. And you're very influential around the women that you're around, but I know you're also a women's advocate as well. Can you tell us in what ways you strive to help women?
I try to help women to become a woman of love, power, and respect, meaning to love yourself first in order to love others. I was so tied up with loving this man for years and was getting beat and abused for so long that I thought that I didn't have any love. When I lost my dad, I felt like I didn't have a man love. So when he did come around, I thought it was okay what he was doing to me because I didn't want to go back to my mama's house. I didn't want to go back and stay with my family and my sisters. So I took in abuse thinking that it was love, and it's not. Love is not abuse. Love is something that God is love. And in order to love God, you have to love yourself. And I teach women to love themselves and that their power is their strength. To believe in your strength, to carry on. Let the next woman help you. Let's be our sister's keeper, and that's your power. And your respect is to have respect for you, have respect for your family, have respect for others. And that is what I teach women around the world, to have love, power, and respect, but also have a passionate goal in life. Because there's so many women, so many single parents out there, so many single women that think they cannot do it, especially when they get in all kind of abusive relationships, abusive marriages, and just feel like they're in a failure. When women come from urban areas, from the projects, they feel like, oh, I'm going to live in this place for the rest of my life. Over 80% of the time, people live there and never get any higher or have a purpose. I'm here to tell them that you do have a purpose. That it's not where you come from. It's not even where you at. It's where right now, where your mindset at. What are you thinking about? Do you have a passion? If you have a passion, let's rock. That's what I teach women all over the world, that it doesn't matter how you stumble. I don't care if you went to the bottom of the ocean and you feel like you was about to drown. Always remember there's a pearl at the bottom of that ocean. There are pearls down there that you can reach and touch and know that you are somebody. That's what I teach women. And that's what I always want to be, a leader, to help them understand that it don't matter what you go through. It's not what you've been through. It's how you come out of it. And you have time right now as of today to let go of your past, let go of anything that's been done to you, forgive, and keep moving forward, because that is the way to your destiny. That is the way to your perseverance. That is how you get perseverance, is by keep on going, and you can't let nothing stop you. I don't care. I have been through, Jim, in the last year, I have been through 3 surgeries, 2 hurricanes. In the last year, going to visit my brother, we were burying my sister-in-law, called in Harvey, get back home to Florida, and here came another hurricane. So I'm telling you, I still was able and had surgeries in between all of them. I did not let it get to me because I knew I believe in my dreams. And I want other people around here to be motivated, to believe in their dreams, and know that they have a purpose and they have a plan. And when you have a purpose and a plan and a prayer, you are powerful.
You know, one of the things I want to just ask you, you know, there's a lot of women empowerment groups that are arising, and a lot of people feel like they have to feel that power. Now, I put out the Walkstar Walkisms, and I want to tell you, one of the quotes that I gave, one of the things that I created was one that goes something like this. You know, you truly are in control and empowered when you don't feel like you need to be empowered. What do you think of a quote like that?
What I think about a quote like that is, when you feel like you said, okay, repeat yourself one more time, Jim.
Well, you know, it's kind of funny. Empowered? Yeah, people feel like they you know, there is, you know, this kind of movement, which I think is great, you know, women wanting to come back into their element and strength. That's why we have all these women groups here. It's interesting. We don't necessarily have the men's groups arising, but one of the things, the thought process is the fact that, you know, one of the things I believe is, you know, you're in control and you're really empowered when you don't feel that need to be empowered.
Yes, yes. I get exactly what you're saying. When you feel like that you're going to always have, I agree with you to a certain extent, Jim. I know we always agree with each other. But on this one here, I feel like you always should have the need to feel empowered. I don't care when you don't. Because as soon as you let a little slip go in there, you can get comfortable with that. And when you let that get comfortable, then you will stop empowering yourself and you will stop empowering others. You have to keep on being empowered daily. Jim, let me tell you something. The nurse told me at the hospital, they was laying up there, and I had over 200 stitches in me. And I'm laying up there in the bed, and I'm sitting up there with my iPhone, and I'm recording myself. Because that moment, I knew I was supposed to be at an event, at a conference. At first, I was all upset, and I was crying. I was like, I'm missing these big events. This is my time to shine, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting up there, and I'm crying. I'm just crying. I'm just going to be honest with you. I was crying so much that I got depressed. And after I thought about it, I said, this is not who I am. I am a woman warrior. I am a warrior who make it rock. And I said, you know what? Make like you at that conference. And that's just what I did, Jim. And I sat there and I recorded myself, not knowing that the nurse was looking at me from the TV monitor, because, you know, after you have surgery, they watch you. And I was not knowing I was looking at the TV monitor. The nurse came in my room, and she knocked on the door, and she was crying. She said, I sat there and watched you motivate yourself, even when you didn't even feel like it, when you felt like you was powerless. I sat there and watched you motivate yourself. She said, you make me believe more than anything. I said, that's it. I said, that's it right there. And I wiped my tears from my face and said, this is who I am. I am to be a powerful person. And that's exactly what I did. And it made me feel so much, it made me feel so like, how can you transform just that quick? But I did, because I wiped my tears and I empowered myself. And I said, you know what? If I can empower myself to be a powerful person in this room, like I'm sitting in that audience at a conference, then why can't I do it daily? And that's what I did, because I was so hurt about me having to have the surgery. I mean, I had to cancel 4 conferences. I had to cancel 5 speaking events, 2 TV show events. And I was like, how in the world am I going to do this? Why now? But then I said, why not now, to still motivate my mind? And that's what we have to do in the times when we feel like we shouldn't. We must motivate our mind continuously, Jim.
You know, I think you got to come out here and run for mayor. Over here in Stockton. We'll have the first women mayor. No, but in all sincerity, I really respect who you are, what you do, and we have a lot to learn in life. It's all about the decisions we make individually and what we choose to do and what we choose to become. As people get to know your story, you're also one of the authors, not just publisher, but one of the authors in the book that's coming out, and they will understand that, you know, no matter what barriers are in the way, you make the choice to keep moving forward, and hence that's what makes every individual to be able to have the opportunity to be extraordinary, and hence the book Breaking Barriers, Decisions That Make People Go From Ordinary to Extraordinary. Are there any final comments you have, Nichole?
Yes, Jim. I want to say thank you for bringing me on the show. I want to say thank you for making me one of your co-publishers in the book. I cannot wait to be a co-author in the book so they can really see how you can break some barriers. We have some strong, powerful people in this book. And when I read some of the chapters, my editor was like, Nichole, this is going to be one of your most powerful anthologies that you are producing. And I said, you know what? That is Jim, and he rocked with the W, and I rock with the R. I said, we have no other choice. And I just want to let everybody know that you can break any barrier, and Jim is going to let y'all see how to do it in December. And if you follow the guidelines of all the ones that left you all these different ways to break into, I call it breakthrough the barriers. Just like Jim, I don't know if y'all ever seen a couple before, but it's so powerful. And he has on there all different ways to break through. And that's all I can say is I want everybody on this phone to rock it and rock and break every barrier. That's it, Jim.
Awesome. I almost feel like saying amen. So it's all good. Or a woman, we could say. But you know what? Thank you so much for joining us. I know you're extremely busy. You've got a lot going on. And I look forward to working with you in the future. I know I have several books also coming out, which you are also going to be the backbone of making it happen. And I know you've done some incredible things. So stay tuned, and you can check on my Facebook page at Jim T. Chong for Breaking Barriers, Decisions that Elevate People from Ordinary to Extraordinary. And thank you so much, Nichole, for joining us. I know you have a very busy schedule with family and what you do to support other people. So love you a lot. And, I just want to go ahead and mention Stockton itself. It has a great story. And if you're interested in terms of participating in telling your story, please contact myself. You can reach me at 925-860-9777. That's 925-860-9777. And I'm actually doing something specifically here for the Stockton community as well. And you're going to see the release of some of the intricate stories and stuff at the Chinese New Year parade. It's going to be March 4th. I believe it's March 4th, that first Sunday that we're going to be there. We're going to have Walkstar Nation debuting and just hints of some of the stories and also the debut of the book in the parade as well. So thank you again, Nichole, just for joining us.
You're welcome, and y'all have enjoy your amazing day.
Great.
And everybody in Stockton, let you know that Nichole loves you, and Breaking Barriers. Please go out and get the book in December. We can't wait to share it with you all.
Great. And hey, it will be a bestseller, and it will change many, many lives through great stories. And thank you again, Nichole, for being a part of the process, helping put the book together.
We're shooting for way more than bestseller. We're shooting for New York Times bestseller. I think we can do it, Jim.
We can do it.
Let's put it all in there, and we can do it.
We can do it. Well, thank you again, Nichole. And
okay, thank you.
We have other authors like Jim Stovall, who owns the Narrative Television Network that serves 13 million people. He's also written a foreword. And Roger Pomeri, who is an expert peak performance mindset coach who actually coaches people that own the brokerages that have been formed for real estate. And so I'm very excited about that. We have Olympian Sherry Wynn and also just many of the other people. Joanna Wright, who's also a real estate investor. And of course, we just want to mention one more time, Nichole Peters, that's also part of it. So thank you again, Nichole.
Thank you, Jim. I'm looking forward to making it rock very soon.
Awesome. We will rock and walk it. And as we go ahead and continue on, I want you to think about what your story is, because your story will make a difference to people. And learning how to articulate just a thought is so very important. And many of you know I'm working on a program that will help you increase your presence and influence. And I have with me today somebody I had so much fun with on Sunday, because he actually runs Improv 209, and he's been in this industry of theater, comedy, and just performance for over 30 years. We don't want to give away too many years because we don't want to give away his age, but he's been in many, 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 many regional theatrical productions in various forms, and he is Harvey Jordan. And Harvey, thank you for joining us here today.
Yeah, sure, Jim.
And I want to ask you here, in terms of theater, I love theater, and one thing that stands out about you, just in your class, I will tell you, there's a lot of people that are figuring it out, which is great. They're trying to help other people learn, but you are the real deal. You have literally decades of experience, and it showed. And, I am a professional speaker, MC. I see a lot in terms of people that are out there in theatrical productions and speaking venues and $1 Million Mindset events. But I will tell you, I was very impressed with what you had allowed for people to participate in here in Stockton every Sunday from 7 to 9,
That's
right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you tell us a little bit about why, what got you in theater, and why is theater important to you?
Wow. Well, I've been involved in theater since probably my senior year in high school, and from probably the age of 16, 17, and been continually in theater. My entire career has been in theater. Went through a California collegiate program, community college, Cal State, and a University of California graduate degree program in theater, and then went into professional acting and directing, and then a long career, 36 years actually, of teaching collegiate theater at both the university and college level, and just retired in 2015.
Wow. And now, I love the fact you just started Improv 209. And I know Monica, how do you pronounce her last name? Caponio. Al Caponio. She helped initiate that. Yeah. And, I really thoroughly enjoyed just the improv there.
You know how that happened. She sent me a little text several months ago and said, hey, she had taken comedy improv from me at Delta College years ago. And she said, what is there anything happening in the world of comedy improv? And I said, well, I don't know, what would you like to see happen? And we kind of had a little small informal get together over at my house with about 9 people came who had some interest that she had contacted. And we just sat and talked about what would people like to see happen? What would they like to, when would they like to see it? What kind of a thing could maybe happen? And so we decided to go ahead and start a class in comedy improv. And that's where we're at now. The classes have literally just started very recently. And we decided to do what's real common in the world of comedy improv, and that is drop-in style, ongoing drop-in style class, which means any student can drop into the class at any time. You just pay a $10 fee for the 2-hour class when you get there, and you can come when you want to come and not come when you can't come. And there's usually a kind of a core group of people come every week, but it's for beginners as well as experienced comedy improv people. And we're sort of taking everybody from the ground up with it. And eventually, one of the eventualities may be that I'd like to see some groups, some small performing troupes evolve out of the class. And if that can happen, any number of people could maybe create something, create a class, and I would certainly help advise them. I've directed many comedy improv shows over the years as well. And maybe you'll see some of these groups, sometime next year, maybe out and about doing some live performances.
Well, I know this. You could drop by any time, but for the class itself, it has to be between 7 and 9 p.m. On Sunday, and it's actually at the.
You're welcome to drop by at 5 o'clock, but you'll be sitting outside all alone.
That's right. But 7 to 9 p.m. on Sundays, right. And it's actually at the Stockton School of Performing Arts. It's called the Black Box at SSPA, which is at 6130 Pacific Avenue in Stockton, 6130 Pacific Avenue.
It's right next to the Royal Siam restaurant, for those who know where that is.
Yeah, so you can get a bite to eat and go laugh.
Yeah, it's about
a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's about somewhere about near Swain and Pacific.
Yeah, and so I want to go ahead and just mention. I know there's obviously. There's SCT, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, SCT here for theater.
There's also Stockton Civic Theater.
Yeah, Stockton Civic Theater. There's also other small endeavors for theatrical things. Of course, we have a Showbiz. It's right on the Miracle Mile, not too far away from here as well.
Right.
What I noticed, though, is you're really trying to raise the standard of things. Now, I'm getting to know you a little bit, and you didn't know this, but somebody actually said he's actually pretty hard line on things when you really come down to it. You have a very high standard of excellence, and I know you take it very seriously. You're retired, but you've done so many productions as artistic director, general manager, program director, artist in residence, and just of course acting itself. You've done things behind the scenes, the technical aspects of things. Yeah. And, you do have a very high standard of excellence. And what do you think is necessary to be able to raise the awareness and also interest in theater here in Stockton? Do you think it's, you do have other entities that are here doing theater.
Sure.
So what are you trying to accomplish in raising the standard?
Well, I guess I should say that that standard comes from having spent a lot of time working in professional theater, and all throughout my collegiate teaching career, my goal has always been to help invigorate young students and kind of try to pipeline them into professional careers in theater and professional and pre-professional training programs. And as I teach classes, I have always had as a goal in mind to teach professional standards to the students, so that if they do find themselves breaking into professional theater, they're not surprised by what's expected of them, both in a personal discipline way, but also in an artistry way. And so that, how that relates to other local theater groups, community theater groups, everyone, of course, has in mind that they want their shows to be as high quality as they possibly can be. And I think in terms of trying to raise the bar, raise the standards, that's all. That's always the goal, isn't it? It's like, to me, progress is being made, even if little by little, inch by inch, people are always trying to up the game, always trying to raise the bar. So I try to always encourage people in that direction, anyone and everyone. And through actor training, through, wherever. But the more local people that actually can get out and work in the professional theater, in addition to the work that they've done in community theater or collegiate theater, bring that stuff back with you, bring that information, bring that the expertise that you gain, and the raised standards that are in professional theater, bring that back with you, bring it to bear on your work. That's certainly, I want to encourage people to always think that way.
And Valacoba has done some phenomenal projects cross-culturally. She has her Red Dragon Theater promoting theater for the youth as well. And that's where I met you, through her Aurora production. Yeah. That was read, what do they call those, a reading play?
Yeah, there was an open reading, a sort of a public
open reading. That's what they call it, yeah. And of course, I'm all about the voice. I was very honored to be a part of that. I've been in some different theatrical events as well, and performing as an actor. But by trade, I'm not really an actor. Yeah. So this is what's been really great for me. But I'm doing it because I want to up my game. And I believe that when you get involved in things you're not quite as comfortable with, that's really when you grow. I'm all about personal development. And I want to go ahead and just mention, that's why I wanted to attend improv. I've been wanting to do improv for a long time. I'm connected with some people out of the area as well. But improv is so very important. Now, improv, out of all things, right? How do you think that can help people in terms of personally develop their skills, abilities, or confidence?
Yeah, well, I thought it was great when I heard what it is that you do, and you typically do, and that you were interested in a comedy improv, because it does relate. You don't have to be, your plan does not have to become some sort of a professional comedy improv performer. You certainly can do that or pursue that if you want, but comedy improv can apply in a lot of ways, and a lot of just real life situations can be enhanced through skills in comedy improv. Because what it does is, one of the best things that it does is it gets you so that you trust your instinct, you trust your ability to naturally respond. In comedy improv, you're taught to not think. Don't overthink. Don't overanalyze.
That's what I learned. And one thing I have to mention, I was having such a problem with one of the things that you taught me is a golden nugget in terms of improv. It's not about just what you think or being funny. It's really about setting up the other person and really bouncing things off and setting up the other person to have some elements to work with, right?
Comedy improv is fantastic at collaborative acting, at ensemble acting. And as we're talking about in the class, and we reinforce all the time, the trick is to learn the structure. Every comedy improv performance, game, or exercise has a structure, and all you have to do is learn what the structure of the game is and just focus on playing the game. You don't have to attempt to be funny. In fact, you run a little bit into a rabbit hole when you are thinking, okay, what can I say or do that will be funny? Don't think that way. Just learn how the game is played. Because as we talked about in class, and how many times did you see it happen, you never know where the funny is going to come.
That is hilarious. So some people just look funny, right? No, some people say things funny, and some people can say funny things.
Yeah.
And I would say that it's kind of interesting. It's a whole different dynamic, and this is why I want to really get into improv. One is that I love to entertain. Yeah. But more importantly, I know as a speaker, professional speaker, MC, you always have to think on your feet.
Yeah.
And so that's how I develop myself. And being uncomfortable with certain things, being on the edge is what really helps. So I think this is
comedy
phenomenal.
Improv skills are very self-empowering because you realize I don't have to have anything in mind. I can literally just listen to someone else, respond what they say, and if I learn to trust myself and sort of interact with them, it's amazing how easy it all gets. It's the thinking. It's the overthinking that kills actors.
You know, I'm Asian. Do I overthink? Yes, at times. But
well,
you know,
you're gonna have to work on that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And you know, you said the magical key. You know, it's like me and many of my friends. They don't have to worry that it's not about you thinking. So many of my friends, you're very qualified to go. You don't have to think. No, but it is hilarious. Just some of the things that happen when you're not overthinking, and that's what I learned.
Yeah.
And I learned that I always set up things. I naturally ask questions and then support that question and start answering that question. I had such a hard time to not ask questions when somebody was bouncing something to me.
Yeah.
You know, they'd say, "Oh, the spider's black." Well, why is the spider black? I wanted to ask a question, and it made me again conscious of how I'm relaying my message. As a speaker, it works out really well, but it doesn't always work so well in improv because that's what can keep me from actually being funny.
Yeah.
And I learned something very practical there.
There's a lot of practical things. And, you know, it should also be pointed out, and we should certainly say that the class, again, being a drop-in style class, it's a kind of a class you can join at any time. It's not like you sign up and then you do X number of weeks. You can just drop in whenever. And but you also, we also welcome people who just want to come and watch. I mean, the fee is still the same. But
it's $10.
It's just $10 for the $2 2-hour class.
Yeah, which is a great price. I mean, normally I know people that could pay $50, even $100 and upward for real professional training. And you've got that professional background, and you deliver.
Well, this is a fairly common structure for comedy improv across the country, is to have these fairly inexpensive drop-in style classes because it's kind of like signing up for a gym. You know, you go in and you work out for a while, but it's sort of like, it's kind of like a gym for actors. You know, you just show up and you play games and you talk with people and you meet people. But what I was trying to say is that you also can just come and watch. If you want to drop in and you aren't sure about, you know, this comedy improv thing, and, you know, and because it does, you know, make some people get a little nervous about what it's all about. But you can also just come and watch, and you'll see quickly how easy it is.
You know, this is really a great opportunity on Sundays. If you're not doing anything, I know you selected that night because a lot of people are looking for things to do, you know, just starting a new week. But it's also a great time to just really get involved in something you've never been involved before. If you just want to have a good laugh, look behind the scenes of things, you can show up and just watch and participate as well.
Do you know that when I taught comedy improv, I taught for years and years at Delta College as well. I used to enjoy putting the class in the late afternoon because the students would tell me they found the class very therapeutic and they loved looking forward to it to being at the end of the day. It was kind of their last thing. It was such a relief from the other kind of classes they would go to because they would go into comedy improv, they would laugh the whole time from beginning to end, and they found it a great stress reliever and therapeutic.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. You know, I know we're ending out here. We're running out of time, but I know we're going to have you back, and I know you and I are in discussions of some things that we could potentially collaborate on.
Yeah.
And you know what? I want to tell people in the Stockton community, if you're listening from any other area nationwide, you know, it's all about collaboration. You know, there are some things I do very well. There are some things I don't do very well. That's why I seek people that are experts in certain things so I can learn. So I'm looking so much forward to really learning from you. And so I'm with, again, Harvey Jordan, and he really is a master at helping people learn how to be on stage, but specifically also in improv. And I could tell you, I'm around a lot of speakers and stuff, and some of the the skills I'm developing from just that one course, which I will be going to consistently, it's been very helpful for me.
Yes,
so
fantastic.
people that want to go ahead and join in, if you can go ahead and just repeat where they would go and when.
Sure. It's every Sunday night. It's 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And it's at the Black Box at Stockton School of Performing Arts, which is located at 6130 Pacific Avenue. That's 6130 Pacific Avenue. It's right kind of at about Swain and Pacific, and it's right next door, literally, to the Royal Siam restaurant, which has got a big sign. So if you see that going down Pacific, you pull right in that little parking lot. It's really convenient. I love the space. The space is run by Rhonda Cummings, who teaches dance there. And she, last spring, decided to turn one of her 2 dance studios into a small black box theater space. So it is a primo space for acting classes. And I think there will be eventually some theater productions and things will happen. She actually has had some theater productions there in the past, but there's going to be more.
Great. Well, raising standard and raising the bar. I'm here with Harvey Jordan, and I will tell you, I'm all about helping people increase their presence, their influence, and this is a great way to do it. Just through learning new skills and abilities, improv, comedy. You got to be entertaining, educated, and also really be able to really provide a little levity in the world today.
Yeah.
And so I want you to go ahead and think about the things that are most important to you. As a community here in Stockton, California, we are KXVS, the voice of Stockton. We want to go ahead and let you know that on Walk the Talk, I want to bring you topics that will help you be better. You know, listening to the show, I want to provide great content that will give you practical skills, abilities, and the mindset to be successful in whatever you want to achieve. Going into next year, I know that many of us have goals, and we're not sure if we can achieve them. We'll find somebody that can inspire you and show you the way. And if you're looking for something to give, you know, towards the end of the season here or just throughout the year, become a member of the Voice of Stockton. I'll tell you, this is a hub of what's going on here in the community here. And right now, I'm very excited because I get to go ahead and go to the CV RAPS program, which is the Central Valley Awareness Preventing Strokes program in St. Joseph's Medical Center on behalf of Healings in Motion. And I'll tell you, I'm all about community. I love to be able to learn and grow myself. I have a lot to learn from you. And one last thing before we go here, I want to tell you, do you know, I want you to join me on this endeavor. I'm trying to rename all bathrooms from being John to Jim. You know why? You know why? Doesn't it sound a lot better? You get up, you're going to the gym. All right, well, this is Jim T. Chong, the Walk Star, with Governor Don and also Harvey Jordan, as well as Nichole Peters. We're helping you walk the talk in life. And God bless. Have a great rest of the day. Till next time, catch you next Tuesday at 11:15 a.m. on KXVS. This is the Voice of Stockton.